Alright, so here we are back to old Petey, the PT Cruiser. Petey is my younger sister called her whenever she drove him. So we are actually back in my parents' garage where we originally started with this car. Brought it back here as I got a second derby car, and unfortunately my house we just don't have enough room for two. So what we're doing today is hopefully going to be the last of the derby prep outside of just welding the 4-point cage with the little halo bar there. I'll have that cut by the end of today, but I'll have my brother help me with that because I'm not experienced welder. So we got her jacked up. We're going to drop the original gas tank. We're also going to cut up front the muffler, and I mean this thing's so rusted out, the muffler, it's not going to take much to get it out of there. Going to take off the rear bumper, the rest of the interior stuff. You see I just threw everything in here, the inner door panels that I had off earlier. We're going to switch out the hatch, as this hatch my dad had to buy. I have the old hatch which has the busted out and slightly damaged window. This hatch I'm going to detach and see if maybe we can sell if anybody needs a hatch. Again, the dash is ready to go. In essence, we're just going to put a 4-point cage across, and then back here with the halo coming up through the windows. I'm thinking, because it's my parents' garage, I don't want to get glass everywhere, I'm going to pop out all of the door windows, and then the small windows that I need to break, I'm going to break, but I might break those not in the garage, but maybe over in the field, where if a little bit of glass gets in the grass, that's not a big deal. I'm going to take the front bumper and lights off as well. You can see the motor's pretty much ready. Just got to clip the battery terminals and then run them inside once we have the window taken out. That's pretty much the last things to do. Other than that, the fuse box is already moved inside. Got the air filter, plastic kind of extra casing, all that junk here taken care of, and I probably won't move that fuse box because it's already kind of protected inside the wheel well about as good as it can be. I'd like it to be this way, kind of horizontal, or I guess this way is horizontal if you're looking at the car like I am. So I don't know, I'd like it to be this way just so it's, if I take a hard hit here, that shock can't kind of bust it up, but I'm not sure if we'll be able to do that. Might just leave it there. So yep, here we go, last kind of run. Hopefully take off the mirrors, all that extra stuff. Hopefully we can get her pretty much ready to go for the derby. That still is happening about a little over 2 weeks from now. So here we go. So just an update on our progress. We've got the rear bumper off, we got the rear lights off, and I've switched out the good hatch for the bad one, the one that's busted up and has some damage around the window inside. So I can get it up here. We've got carpet ripped out to the front there. I gotta unbolt that seat and all the wiring's undone. Unplugged the sensor back here, the impact sensor as I call it. Unplugged all the wiring, so we're gonna fire it up now before we continue. Want to make sure motor's still running unhindered after we've kind of made some adjustments before we get too deep in the weeds of wires, so I can figure out what went wrong if for some reason the motor doesn't fire. So you can see the underside, put this back down, which it actually still locks. The muffler was hanging on by a thread, and whenever I was just ripping on the plastic bumper there trying to get it off, which was tough because all the bolts and everything were so rusted, there was no getting it off. The muffler literally collapsed down. You can see part of it there halfway under. I mean, this baby has a rust bucket under, but she's primed for the derby. So going to the front now, continue our progress. So continuing to show our progress, just want to point out how this was a pain in the backside, as simple as it should be to take out the front plastic bumper and the lights there. With everything so rusted, so many things were stripped out. I literally had to cut a couple screws with my mammoth saw there, my reciprocating saw, but we got it out. So that's pretty much it. We're not gonna mess with the plastic or any of that other stuff now. Just unplug some sensors. Not gonna pull battery cables now, leave that there until after we get the windshield done. So we're gonna jump inside here to the windows for a little bit, getting closer to wrapping up our day. Hopefully be able to at least get the pipe cut underneath there. I don't know if we'll get to the gas tank today, we'll see. So just to show the end of our day, we did not have a super successful day, but We did make some progress and we're starting to look like a derby car. We got all the glass out, made a mess of course, used the hammer and smashed it in, cut out with a reciprocating saw the windshield. It's got that gel or whatever it is in the middle, so it pretty much stays together. Swept as best we could around, made a bit of a mess. Gonna sweep one more time, but still got to clean up the wires up front. The pipe underneath had a heck of a time. Wasn't having much success cutting it about right here after it comes out and down out of the motor there. But the back half was so rusted, it literally rusted out and fell apart right inside the rear wheel, excuse me. So as of now, it's just there to there that I'd like to cut out so that as we're smashing the back end in, it's not pressing into the motor and doing damage there. But we'll do that another day. Didn't get to drop the tank either. Have to do that another day, come down. But we're ready to weld the cage. Have my old man probably help me with that. Swept out the glass on the inside. See, it's pretty clean, so we made progress. Not as much as I was hoping, but that's all right. Finish her up another day.